Hey, what's up guys? Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today is going to be Super Quant Invoked. This is a terrible deck. Like, I was just really bored, as you can tell. So I was like, yo, I was trying to build Infernoble Knights, and I saw Super Quant Red Layer. So I'm like, if there's layers, then there's gotta be a different layer, right? So I searched up Super Quant, and I got a whole archetype. I didn't even realize there was an archetype around here. Ignore the background, please. So it turned out to be a mediocre deck. Like, the Super Quant cards themselves are really good, but like nothing else about the archetype is very good. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into the deck. Starting things off, I have like 3 copies of Power Ranger Blue Layer. Okay, all jokes aside, 3 copies of Super Quant Blue Layer. This card's effect is when it's normally special summoned, you can search one of your Super Quant cards, which is really good. So this means you can search your field spell, which the main point of the deck is to have your field spell and a Quant monster on the field so you can go into your Xyz monsters, which is really good. This really facilitates your plays and is probably the most important card in the deck. Like, it's not the best card necessarily, but it is definitely the most important. 3 copies of Super Quantum Green Layer. So this card's actually really good too, even though it's not as good as any of the other Super Quant cards. So its effect is when it's normally special summoned, you can special summon a Super Quant from your hand. Then if this card's sent to the graveyard, discard 1 Super Quant to draw 1 card. So this has some decent like graveyard effect as well. But like the main effect is like when it's like the main play you're gonna do, you're gonna special summon Red Layer, and then normal summon Green Layer, use Green Layer's effect to special summon Blue Layer, use Blue Layer's effect to search your field spell, activate your field spell to discard a card, then turn 2 of them into your Xyz monsters, and then you can really just go from there and go into your Super Quantal Mech King Great Magnus, which is a pretty decent play. And I play 3 copies of Super Quantum Red Layer. This card's basically a free special summon, and I didn't even know the whole archetype existed. I just saw this card in Infernoble Knights, and I'm like, wonder what this does. This gives a free, this gets a card back to the hand from the graveyard, as well as being able to special summon from the graveyard if it's destroyed, which is pretty decent, especially on a 2000 body that can special summon itself. All in all, it is pretty decent. And then I played 2 copies of Super Quantum White Layer. This card isn't as good as any of the others, but this is actually like a better play. You can send 1 non-light Super Quant card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard, special summon this card. Then when this card is normally special summoned, send 1 Super Quant monster from your deck to the graveyard. And if you do, this card's attribute and level become that card. So that's actually really good because this can facilitate plays. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, add 1 Super Quantal Fairy Alphon from your deck to your hand, which is really good. That's your boy right there. So first, this card can just ignore its effect and go into this one, but it's not as good, so I don't play as many of them. But this card's actually kind of decent. But the thing is that if you're summoning this card, you might just as well just special summon a red. But this just sets up another special summon in the deck, and it's kind of decent. I played 2 copies of Super Quantal Fairy Alphon. This card's actually pretty good for the deck. Once per turn, you can target 1 Super Quant card you control. All face-up cards you currently control become that level, which is actually kind of important because that means you can overlay into your monsters instead of having to use your field spell into them. And then you contribute this card to reveal 3 Super Quant monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent picks 1, you special summon 1 from the field, and you send the rest to the graveyard. So that is really, really good because it sets up your graveyard. It gives you a free Super Quant monster on the field, and really it's just super good. Then I play 3 copies of Alistair, most important card in the Invoked engine. I really hope this doesn't get limited. Like, it will completely destroy the engine if this card gets limited, and I hope it doesn't. Play 3 copies of Ash, just because it's a generic cantrip. Then for the spells, 3 copies of Super Quantal Mech Ship Magna Carrier. This is definitely the most important card in the deck. So basically you activate it, then you can discard 1 card, then turn 1 of your monsters into their subsequent Xyz monsters. So it's the same level and attribute. And yeah. This is really good. And it's very unique gimmick. Like, I've never seen a deck do this before, and I thought it was really cool. Then I play 3 copies of Super Quantal Alpha Spike. If you control 3 or more Super Quant monsters with different names, shuffle as many cards your opponent controls as possible into the deck. Then your opponent special summons 1 from their extra deck, ignoring their summoning conditions. So, like, that might seem like a steep cost, but remember, you're shuffling all their cards into the deck. So if they had Disruption, if they had anything, and you've already baited it out, that probably means that they're just going to have a bunch of strong beat sticks on the field. So just putting them back in the deck. And keep in mind that most decks are based around comboing, and they're not going to have a big monster unless you're having, like, Raid Raptors or something to special summon from the extra deck. But, like, if the worst comes to worst, they'll special summon, like, a Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon, and you just have to beat over it with your big boss monster. Which, I mean, yeah, that's possible. And, like, really, there's no downside to this, because it's like, if they summon a Borlid Savage Dragon, it won't have any negations, or if they summon an Appaloosa, it'll have 0 attack and no negations. Like, there's no real good targets to special summon from the extra deck for free during our turn. So, yeah. I play 2 copies of Super Quantal Alpha and Call Appeal. This card isn't as good, but if a Super Quant monster you control is destroyed by battle, special summon 1 Super Quant Mech Beast monster from your extra deck, then you can special summon 1 Super Quantum monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard that specifically lists that card on its text, but negate its effects. So this can get you into 2 of your Super Quant monsters, which is pretty good. Then I play 2 copies of Potter Dichotomy. This is also one of the decks that I can work in, just because like, they have different types, like Psychic and Warrior. It really works in this deck, especially since Alistair is a spellcaster and none of the other ones are spellcasters. Oh, no, Green is a spellcaster, so you're probably going to end up banishing Alistair, so it doesn't really matter. Play 3 copies of Magical Meltdown and 3 copies of Invocation. Absolutely mandatory if you're going to play the Invoked engine. 1 copy of Terraforming, because it can search out Magical Meltdown, but most importantly, it can search out Magna Carrier. 1 copy of Metaverse to search or activate Magna Carrier from the deck. 2 copies of Super Quantal Union Magna Formation. It just isn't as good as any of the other. The trap cards just aren't very good. But when your opponent cannot target Super Quant cards you control with card effects during your main phase, then you can target 1 Super Quant Xyz monster you control, attach 1 other face-up monster you control as material, which is pretty decent. Then I play 1 copy of Super Quantal Mech Sword Magna Slayer. This is like when the Power Rangers summon their sword on the final battle. Like, seriously, this is the weakest attempt at making Power Rangers, because it isn't even, like, it's kind of accurate. Oh, this is the final strike. They're shoving their pet friend at the enemy. Good job. But yeah, that's it for the main deck. Moving into the extra deck. So the extra deck, again, the gimmick of this deck is that you want to summon your extra deck monsters just by using 1 of your main deck Xyz monsters, which is kind of difficult, but it happens a lot. I play 2 copies of each of the Super Quantal Mech Beast cards. So, Gram Pulse, its effect, once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, target 1 spell or trap, destroy it. This card cannot be destroyed during either play's battle phase. This card has Super Blue, has Xyz material. Once per turn, you can special summon or attach 1 super quantum monster from your hand or field as Xyz material. So this can help loop its effect pretty decent. All of them have a similar secondary effect. You can attach 1 as material. Change 1 card to face down defense position. This one detach 1 Xyz material, then target 1 card on the field, destroy it. This is quick effect. So some quick effect disruption, kind of like Trident, except not as good. Then I play 1 copy of Super Quantal Mech Beast Lusterex. So it's funny because the White Ranger usually never shows up until like everything gets desperate, and then they pull something up and just so happen to win. It's funny because I don't even think it's included in the Megazord, so yeah, I play 1 copy of it. You don't play as many copies in the main deck of Layer White, so there's no point, so I thought I'd just fill it up with some more Invoked cards. So going into Link Monsters 1, I'll show you the Invoker of Madness. It's a good one-of in any Invoked engine. 1 copy of Boral Sword Dragon. Pretty good OTK maker. So for the Invoked cards, 2 copies of Makaba. You have plenty of white or light type monsters. 1 copy of Cockatius. Just because it's a decent card to use for blue. Then I played 2 copies of Rajin, just because it's a good copy for green. I decided not to play Purgatrio in the main deck, just because it isn't as good as any of the other ones. So, yeah. So going into the side deck, because I put a bunch of side deck cards in here. 3 copies of Kaliga. This is for your Dragon Link matchup. 2 copies of Elysium, just in case you come across Monarch. I put this in the side deck, so that way you can switch it out almost any deck except Monarch. 2 copies of Magnacelian, just in case you come across like Adamancipator. It's a useful target. This is her the whatchamacallit deck. I can't remember what it's called, Infernoble Knights, and then I just wanted to play 2 more of this just so that I have the option. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know what you thought, and let me know if there's anything you would change about this. Would you completely cut out the Invoked engine because it doesn't exactly have much synergy here? Would you switch up any of the Super Quant cards? And yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.